Hello, welcome to my escape. The dog came to cuddle me, so we're going to film my wrap up just like this, because I refuse to move him. So hopefully this looks okay. So, in July I read 6 books, 3 contemporary romances, 1 fantasy romance, 1 sci-fi erotica, and 1 just kind of general fiction. The first book for this wrap up is Fourth Wing, literally forever, and a new friend actually ended up lending it to me, so bless her. Fourth Wing is a fantasy romance, just got released this year, pretty much everyone's favorite, and I could not get my hands on a copy. They were sold out everywhere, waitlisted everywhere. It's a single point of view, follows this girl who's been training her whole life to go and be a scribe, and then on the day of like the choosing, where you choose your path, she's forced into war college. Except she has a disability where her joints and her bones are weak or more prone to injury. So she's like, I'm going to die in this war college, and everyone around her that like loves her and knows her is like, you're gonna die in this war college. And then it's her trying to live, basically, through the book. So at this college, you pretty much are training to be a warrior and training to be a dragon rider. Yes, dragons, we love it. Look at the binding. So pretty. So it follows her through war college, and there's all these stats about all these people dying, and everyone around her is dying, and only very few make it to the end to choose a dragon, or for a dragon to choose them to become a dragon rider. I loved it. It was fabulous. It's worth all the hype out there. I cannot wait for the second one to come out in November. 5 stars for sure. I loved the disability representation. It was flawless throughout. I loved her. I loved her perseverance. I loved, you know, the dynamics and the relationships around her, both the positive and negative love she kind of has in her life. Familial, platonic, romantic, anything, all of the above. I loved the side characters in here. I loved the love interest. I loved the background. World building was a little simplistic, but that was nice because it wasn't overwhelming for book 1. You really fell for the characters first, and I think book 2 will have a lot more of the world politicking kind of going on. The dragons are dangerous and scary and hilarious and sarcastic and adorable and amazing, and I just want one. I just want one. Oh, love it. Can't wait for book 2 to come out in November. I already ordered it so that I don't have to go through all this mess then. I just can't wait. So good. Highly recommend. 5 stars. Another big book platform book I read this month was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I do have a whole video out on my thoughts for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Feel free to go check that out. I'll link it in the cards. But just quickly, it's a girl born in the 17th century, and she makes a deal with a dark god to get out of marriage, to get out of her village, to get out of the confinements of being a woman at the time. And in this bargain, she loses her soul, but she gains immortality. Now, the other catch is she can't be remembered and she can't create anything. So you follow her kind of throughout these years, trying to make a mark on society, a mark on the world, where no one remembers her ever. As soon as she's out of their eye line, they don't remember meeting her, they don't remember the conversation, nothing. She can't write, she can't draw, nothing she creates stays. So there's no permanence to her being, and she's struggling with that. Now it jumps forward to kind of present day, and suddenly someone remembers her. Enter the second POV. So now it's these 2 characters, Addie and Henry, and Henry's the first person in like 300 plus years to remember Addie after she leaves his line of sight. So that's kind of their story. So it was beautifully written. The wording, the phrasing was gorgeous. However, I was bored. I was really bored. This is a slow-paced book, and I don't know if maybe I picked it up at the wrong time and I was looking for maybe like a dark romance or something like that, but I was just so bored. I was waiting for something to happen, literally anything, and then the storylines that I found most interesting never were dived into. They were just kind of overlooked or washed over, and you know, you moved on with other things that I couldn't care about. So I get the hype behind it, and definitely if you're the type of reader that wants, you know, the vibe and okay with that kind of slow pace, then this is a gorgeous book, and I understand the hype for that for sure. But I need a fast pace to stay invested, and it just wasn't with it for this one. So again, I get the hype, but it just wasn't for me. I gave this one 3 stars. So my third book of the month was actually a arc. So this was a sci-fi novella. I follow Oh It's Rose on Instagram, and she posted on her story that she was looking for arc readers, and I was like, what are the odds that I could actually get this arc? Because the cover was beautiful and the title is amazing. I'm just gonna read it out to you. I know it's on the screen, but I'm gonna read it out. Violet Darling and Her Romantic Travels Through Time and Space, Book 1, The Creo Nightclub. I love it. That's an essay in the title. Okay, I love everything about it. It's a sci-fi erotic novella, and essentially this humanoid-ish, not quite, but think humanoid, grew up on Earth. She portals into another world, and she is set on experiencing a vampire bite. Well, the world portaled onto is the vampire world. So she's heard that this bite is exquisite and she wants to try it out. So she portals there. You don't know a lot about her, and she kicks things off with a vampire in a bar. And then it gets spicy from there. I really enjoyed this one. The beginning was a little bit slow, but again, the novella, so it's a novella. So the beginning isn't that long, so it wasn't that hard to push through, and then it picked up and just absolutely took off, and I loved it. All the characters of like the vampire side, they're all gender fluid, so the only one with a set gender is our main girl, and everyone else is just who they are, and I kind of love that. And I haven't read a book with so many they them pronouns. I thought it would be harder than it was, but it wasn't at all. I was intrigued by the main girl and what her story was and kind of who is she, but she's also out here just having some fun times, which is also great. And then what really solidified this for me was the ending, because not only was it cute and adorable, it ended on a cliffhanger where you find out who she is and you're just like, no way. And I loved it. I loved it. This is a series that I think she's just gonna write it whenever she feels inspired or kind of wants to, so there's no set release date or anything like that for the next one. But it is something that I'm really excited and like looking forward to continuing, but I don't need a set release for it. They're just gonna be fun kind of blips all the way through, and I love that. So I had a ton of fun with this one. It is out now and it's on Kindle Unlimited. It's also on Amazon if you don't have Kindle Unlimited. Anyways, great, highly recommend, so much fun. I gave it 4 stars. The fourth I read this month was Powerless, and it is the third in the Chestnut Springs series. So Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, you know, that whole series. Why did I pick this up? I don't know. Because I didn't like the first one whatsoever. And the second one wasn't bad. I don't know what persuaded me to pick up the third, but I did, and I'm so happy I did because I loved it, and it's definitely my favorite of the series so far. So Powerless follows Sloane and Jasper, childhood friends to lovers. It's 2 professional athletes. It's runaway bride. It's road trip. It's family drama. It's great is what it is. So basically Sloane is in this really crappy relationship because she's been treated like crap by all the men in her life, and her best friend Jasper, who hasn't treated her like crap, is kind of just stuck having to accept this. And then the wedding day comes and Sloane's like, no, I need out of here, and Jasper's like, I got you, and then they run. And then they go on a road trip, and he's got family stuff going on and she's got family stuff going on, so they're trying to sort through their lives and their expectations and their issues, and they're also kind of like connecting with one another and realizing that there might be some potential there. And I loved it. It got me right from the beginning. These two were so cute. I wanted the world for them. They definitely had their flaws, but their flaws made sense to their characters and their histories, and some stuff that normally irritates me, like some other tropes that are in there that like normally irritate me, but they actually made so much sense in the story, and I just, it was so cute. It was so cute. I had so much fun reading it. I gave it 4 stars, and definitely you don't have to read the series. You can just read this one and be happy. And the next one I read was Reckless, which is the 4th of the same series. Why did I pick these up back to back? I don't know. I just think I liked the 3rd one so much that I was like, yes, I'll go into the 4th one. Should I have jumped into it immediately? Probably not, because they do kind of get a little repetitive, but I did it, whatever. Reckless follows Winter, and Winter was introduced in the 1st book, and you kind of hated her. She kind of sucked. Now in the 4th book, she's leaving behind her husband, her job, her manipulative mother, just kind of a lot of family baggage, and she's leaving behind everything to move to this small town to kind of reconnect with her estranged sister. And we love that for her, we really do. But she's also kind of seen as this cold-hearted, awful person by everyone, and she just kind of portrays this numb, don't mess with me vibe. And she comes across this golden retriever boy. So it is reverse Grumpy Sunshine. And then she has a one-night stand, which leaves her a little bit pregnant, and him unreachable. So she has the baby without him. So it is secret baby, it is reverse Grumpy Sunshine, it is golden retriever boy, it is small town romance, cowboy romance, all that fun stuff. He comes back 8 months after the kid's born. He does some math, puts 2 and 2 together, and he's like, nah, I need to be a part of this. So it's that kind of them trying to figure out the dynamics of their new little family and how things are gonna work, still processing their own lives and their own baggage and their own trauma, while figuring out if there's something between them. So I did like it. I did think it was cute. I thought it was well written. I thought Winter came so far and had so much character development, and bless her and everything. I just didn't care for the characters. I didn't really care about their story. I had no connection to the guy. I thought he was a little bit of cardboard cutout and just too meh, kind of. Winter really carried this one for me. But yeah, it didn't bring me in like Sloane and Jasper. I wasn't invested. So I'm happy that she's grown so far, but I didn't really care. I didn't have the same kind of attachment to it. But it wasn't a bad read either, so I only gave this one 3 stars. One of the last books I read was Thorn Princess. I have seen this pop up in my reels on Instagram 1.5 million times. 1.5 million times with the same little scene and the same little blurb, and every time I see it, I'm like, that sounds so cute, I want to read that. And then I look at the title, and then I go on Goodreads, and I look at it there, and I read the description, and I'm like, no, not for me. And I put it aside. And then maybe the month after, it'll all happen again, and it'll just be this repeat. And I'll be like, oh yeah, why didn't I pick that one up again? And then I'll go do it again, and I'll be like, oh yeah. So anyways, this month, the reel popped up, and I was like, you know what? This captured my attention every single time. I'm just gonna read it. What do I have to lose if I don't like it? The description that really did not grab me was it's a bodyguard romance. She is the daughter of the next president, and she's gotten herself in some hot water with the paparazzi, and her dad goes and hires the robot, the unfeeling guy, to essentially babysit her, keep her out of the media, keep her out of the paparazzi, and help her figure out her life and what she's gonna do with it from this point on. I hate that description. I don't like the trope of having to babysit another adult. It's ridiculous to me and very irritating. I don't love bodyguard romances. They've never intrigued me. And that whole like spoiled brat robot, it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it for me, okay? But I picked it up, and I'm so glad I did, because I loved it, okay? I actually really, really enjoyed it. What does make me angry though is the reel that keeps pulling me in and pulling me in and pulling me in actually happened in the epilogue. So that made me angry because I was waiting for this the whole time, and then it just was not happening. So didn't love that. But the couple was really cute. I liked the story. I liked how there was more going on outside of the romance. I liked how you found the layers of the spoiled brat. I liked their portrayal of dyslexia and how it was kind of dealt with and confronted. I liked how the family drama was confronted and how their actions were called out. Some like weird things in the book though, which I'm a bit lost on it, because in my notes will be like weird, but I'm liking the book. Weird. But despite my notes, I'm really enjoying this, and I read it really fast, and I do like think back on it and go, oh, that was a fun read, I really enjoyed that. But my notes don't really line up to that, because my notes are all like, I've never read a romance that said fart so many times. Weird. I forgot about that. Also, the guy in the beginning was a total douchebag. Like, beyond, and I don't usually like that, because I don't care for them to be redeemed. And I don't really know if he was redeemed based off of some of the quotes I had thrown in there. It's like, well, who actually does this guy think he is? But, yeah. So I'm torn on it. I gave it 4 stars at the time. I think back on it with fond memories. I really enjoyed it. I read it really fast. My notes have some questionable things in it. Also, I'm not sure if CNC was really the thing to include in this one, but that kink is in there. A bit weirdly placed, but whatever. But you know what? Sometimes that's just how it works out. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I would recommend. It's got some weird moments in it. We just have to live with that. It is what it is. That was my July. Comment down below what your best read of the month was, or comment what your worst read of the month was, because I'm really here for both ends of the spectrum. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.